I saw on your page every once in a while you'll do a duet with other musicians.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, as someone who like us grew up in like the live scene and now you've taken to social media, do you still feel that sense of community with other musicians?
Yes, I do. I do. I met guys of bands that I was a big fan of, signed up for my lessons. So yeah, I made some great connections. Even though it's not, in person, I met some really amazing people.
Still, it's
So,
like
yeah.
I tell Albert all the time, those are some of my favorite videos where I see musicians duetting other musicians and it ends up being an entire composition.
Yeah.
And it really makes this like huge world feel cozy.
Yeah. It breaks the dichotomy between big artists that are out of reach, so to speak, and the
Unattainable,
average
yeah.
guy. It's like now everybody's kind of on the same level, kind of.
Yeah, sort of the same playing field.
Yeah.
And yeah, everybody's
Whereas
got a shot.
Before, with like MTV and all that,
Yeah.
it was on TV. It was the rock stars, the people that are you're never going to talk to them or whatever. You're lucky if you get a drumstick or whatever.
There were definitely gatekeepers back then.
Gatekeepers, yeah.
And you shall pass, but you shall not pass.
That's it. Yeah, that's the thing. So because it was TV, radio, and all that, but now if the algorithm makes you,
it's the new gatekeeper.
it's the new gatekeeper. So it all boils down to, are you making content that people enjoy? And if you do,
Right.
then
Right.
it's for everybody to see.
How are you able to keep focus on your original projects now? Does that take a back seat? Because now you're literally in a position where you're like, okay, now I have so much work and I have so many clients, more money, more opportunities to do things, more freedom. Does it give you more freedom to do, other solo projects, or do you even have time?
It's a good question. And sometimes, I guess it depends. Sometimes I'm like, I got to back off a little bit. And I really want to focus more on my music, my compositions, my songs. But yeah, the goal for me would be to only write music and live off of that and go on tour. And that's everybody's, I guess, maybe not everybody, but a
lot of people that are thriving in this industry,
Yeah.
that would be the goal.
So for me, it is the goal, but I still enjoy, teaching guitar.
You're playing music. At the end of the day,
at the
you're
end of the
doing
day-
music every day.
I'm playing music.
You're not selling shoes. You're not working in a freaking steel factory.
Yeah.
You're doing music.
I'm
every
doing
day.
music. Yeah. At the end of the day, I gotta say I'm blessed because of that.
Yeah.
And I meet people. I meet like amazing people.
Yeah.
Through those
Sure.
that page and those lessons.
That's now your community.
Yeah.
You've created your own, community
Yeah.
of musicians, bands that you can either go and spring out and collaborate with also and do projects. I'm sure that you have people, also saying, hey, man, would you like to work on this project with me?
Yeah.
Would you like to play? Do you get situations like that where there are bands that are saying, hey, man, can we hire you to play on our tracks?
Yeah. That's happened a few times. Yeah. But people that come to me, they generally want me to play in the style of Thomas Polychuck because they like my style.
So open to all styles, but with your signature sound.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. It's a good way to
I'll
put
call
it.
you. I'll call you.
Yeah, actually.
Actually, I will call you.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Because it's I have yet to it's hard for me to define my style. I know I have a signature style because my girlfriend tells me all the time, I know it's you playing, if she hears something, I know that's, if I'm scrolling, I know that's you. She hears she knows my licks and my little twists. So I know I have a style, but am I a metal guy? Yes and not fully. Yes and no. A blues guy? Not quite. Jazz? Not exactly. I'm just kind of all of that, but it kind of all works.
It's really inspiring to hear you talk about how you found like your sound, you found your voice, especially through social platforms. Myself and probably others find it. There can be a lot of pressure to kind of either follow trends, what's hot, what's not. How do you stay on track and remember what your voice is when there's so much noise?
Well, okay. For me, I don't want to say it's always the case, but for me, if I try to follow a trend, it usually doesn't work. And I've tried because on TikTok, there's those trends that people. So in the beginning, I would try, but it never worked. It kind of shows maybe through somehow in my attitude that
if it's not authentic.
Exactly. It just doesn't do it.
Sure.
So I do whatever I would like to see.
Do you find it sometimes almost like overwhelming to do? Because I know that even doing this podcast is like, it's a process.
Yeah.
And then you're editing and doing it. I know that a lot of the times you're doing shorter clips that are, a little quicker to be able to like punch in and punch out.
Yeah.
But do you find it a little overwhelming that you have to constantly keep up with the algorithms of putting stuff out?
It is a little bit overwhelming. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. So sometimes it's like, wow, okay, you got to, because especially if it's your main source of income, when you stop, the money stops coming. Like
You can't stop.
You can't stop. It is a little bit overwhelming, but so what I tend to do is I record content in batches. I'll go like, and it's not like I have a time in the week, like the Monday morning I do content. It's generally the content when I'm playing, when I'm practicing or whatever, when I'm teaching in between two students, I'll go like, oh, that was cool, record, and that's it.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'll come up with like a batch of like maybe 10 videos. And the following week, I'll post those videos. Yeah. So I guess I figured out a way to make it work and for it to not be too, time consuming.
Optimizing your time.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's not like, I never like to have to do something. Nobody likes to when they have to do something, and that's another thing. It's an important point because that's like when I teach what I teach my students. The most important thing about being a good guitar player is to not have to go like, oh, I have to practice today. Sure. I have to practice this thing. I have to. Go with an attitude of like, this is fun. I love to do it. And you'll never have to practice or like have to do something. You'll just get good. You'll be playing all the time. And
sure.
Yeah.
Well, I think what you're doing is you're sort of setting yourself a regiment where it's never going to feel like a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
Where I have to clock in on Wednesdays because I got to do this, this video for TikTok, or I have to do one for Instagram, and I have to. You're literally sort of slotting it in your regular everyday life.
Yeah.
And that's the way it works
and that's
for you.
The way it works.
And that's how you find balance. Because listen, we're all artists that do not want to work 9 to 5, do not want a regular routine. And this seems to be like the perfect thing for you where you get your freedom. You don't have to like clock in.
Yeah.
But you still have to have discipline. There's still a discipline.
You have to have discipline. Yeah. You have to do things. Things are not going to happen on their own. So you have to find ways to make it enjoyable and just feel like it's effortless, because it's not effortless. There's nothing that's effortless, but you can trick yourself to make it feel effortless. It's like practicing guitar. I never really practiced guitar, honestly. I'm not practicing to play it. I'm just playing it a little slower, and I'm playing it over and over again because I enjoy playing it. And next thing you know, I can play it. I can play it fast. I can play, So I always feel like I'm playing. And
I love that feeling when you get it too.
Yeah.
When you're like,
when you get it, it's like,
yeah.
And it feels effortless. Yeah.
Maybe people don't know this about you, but if they meet you in a dark alley, they probably don't want to mess with you. You also practice mixed martial arts, and I assume that that's some type of escape from the Instagram posting, lessons, music. I mean, although this is your love, you have this other passion.
Yeah. I obviously it's not the ideal sport, for a guitar player because of my hands, and everybody always tells me, but I really enjoy doing that. I discovered, again, it goes back to the same kind of mentality that I have with guitar. I've always tried to stay fit and to, lift weights or do cardio, but before I did martial arts, I always felt like I had to train, and this martial arts and Muay Thai and all that stuff and boxing made me not feel like I have to train. I was just, I'm just going, I'm training, and I'm having fun. So that's what it was, a way for me to make me enjoy training and staying fit. Yeah, and I discovered a new passion. Yeah,
I know exactly what you feel, because whenever I used to go to a gym, if there wasn't some type of medicine ball or something that I'm throwing or something that's coming back to me, I didn't feel like I was enjoying myself. And it was just like these,
you got to do it.
And you have to do it, where I want to be keeping fit, where I'm actually doing something that's enjoyable.
That's enjoyable.
That's fun.
That's it. Yeah.
So for you, like literally hitting somebody's face was fun.
Hitting somebody's face. I mean, it's funny because I'm the nicest guy. I would never fight anybody, and I try to avoid, fighting at all costs. But it's not the fact that I enjoy hitting people, but it's kind of like it's a game. It's like playing chess, but with an extra element of adrenaline. It gives me some kind of self-confidence. It's something that makes guys confident, when they practice martial arts. It makes me a calmer person. It makes me a more, a nicer guy, maybe.
My son works out, and he does it because he understands that he needs movement in his life. And if he doesn't move and does something physically active, he's gonna literally go crazy.
It's all connected.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you find, is that part of like your reasoning also? Do you have trouble standing still?
Yes, I do. Very much. Yeah. And that's the thing. With guitar, you gotta sit down and I sit for long periods of time. So, and I have that, I need to move. I have that in me. So for me, martial arts is a great way. You don't need to train for a long time. You train like 3 or 4 times a week, an hour, and that's good. Trainings are really intense. Like really, really. If you train to fight, it's really intense.
It's great that you have this escape that you can go to. And because you have family life, people don't understand how busy you actually are. So it's not that easy being a TikToker and it's like a content creator online on social media, earning your keep, but still trying to find balance to who you are. And that means you doing things that Thomas likes to do and enjoys, and it keeps balance in your life. But yet you need to put food on the table and take care of your family, take care of you, make sure that you're doing things that you love. And it's amazing that you were able to find all of this balance and still be able to be on top of the game of this crazy world of social media that we have, because we're still learning. Yeah. It's still relatively
changing all the time.
And it's constantly changing and you're adapting to it. And we applaud you,
thank
on
you.
on your success. Thank you so much for being on the show. We really appreciate it, don't we?
We do.
Yeah, it's an honor for me to be here. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll catch you next time on
Basement TV.
Basement TV.